In this episode, we look at image and attachment attacks, which are attacks that hide danger inside things people are used to seeing, opening, scanning, or trusting. A file that looks like a normal document can carry malicious content. A quick response code, QR code, can send you to a fake sign-in page. A completely automated public Turing test to tell computers and humans apart, CAPTCHA, page can be abused to make a malicious site feel more legitimate. A macro can turn a routine office document into a delivery method for malware. Portable document format, PDF, files and rich text format, RTF, documents can be crafted to exploit weaknesses, hide links, or pressure you into unsafe action. The main lesson is that attackers often succeed by wrapping danger in familiar formats. They do not always need something exotic. They only need something ordinary enough that you trust it too quickly. Before we continue, a quick note. This audio course is part of our companion study series. The first book is a detailed study guide that explains the exam and helps you prepare for it with confidence. The second is a Kindle-only ebook with 1,000 flashcards you can use on your mobile device or Kindle for quick review. You can find both at Cyber.News in the Bare Metal Study Guide series. Images and attachments are useful to attackers because they feel normal in everyday work. People receive invoices, forms, reports, scanned documents, shipping labels, meeting notes, resumes, receipts, and screenshots all the time. In many jobs, opening attachments is not unusual. Scanning a code from a poster, email, or screen also feels ordinary now. Attackers understand that routine lowers suspicion. If a message says a document is waiting for review, you may focus on the task instead of the risk. If a QR code appears on a professional-looking page, you may treat it as a shortcut. If a file has a familiar icon, you may assume it behaves like the files you open every day. This is why attachment attacks are not only about technical file formats. They are also about human expectation. The format creates comfort, and that comfort can become the attacker's opening. QR code attacks are sometimes called caching, which is phishing that uses a QR code as the delivery path. The code itself is just a visual way to store information, usually a web address or other data. The danger comes from where it sends you and what it asks you to do. An attacker may place a QR code in an email, on a fake invoice, in a text message, on a poster, or even over a legitimate code in a public place. When you scan it, your phone may open a website that looks like a familiar sign-in page, payment portal, delivery service, or company tool. Because the link is hidden inside the image, you may not inspect it as carefully as a typed web address. The attack moves you from one screen to another, often from a protected work computer to a personal or mobile device, where controls and attention may be weaker. QR code attacks are powerful because they use visual trust cues and device switching at the same time. A user may read an email on a work computer, then scan the code with a phone. That move can bypass some protections that would normally inspect links clicked directly on the computer. The phone may not have the same browser protections, monitoring, or security filtering. The user may also be in a hurry because scanning feels like a quick step, not a security decision. Attackers may design the surrounding message to create urgency, such as claiming that a password will expire, a package must be confirmed, a payroll document is ready, or an account needs verification. The QR code becomes a bridge from a trusted-looking message to an attacker-controlled page. Good judgment means treating the code like any other link. You should care where it leads and what it asks from you. CAPTCHA abuse is another example of attackers using familiar trust signals. A legitimate CAPTCHA challenge is meant to help a website distinguish human users from automated activity. You have probably seen pages asking you to select images, check a box, or prove you're not a bot. Attackers abuse that familiarity in several ways. They may place a fake or real-looking challenge in front of a malicious page so the site feels normal and protected. They may use it to delay automated security scanners that try to inspect the page. They may also use it to make the victim feel that the site must be legitimate because it has a security-like step. That feeling is the trap. A CAPTCHA challenge does not prove a website is safe. It only means the page includes a challenge, and malicious pages can include one too. CAPTCHA abuse also creates a sense of participation. When you complete a challenge, you may feel that you passed a security check and reached the real page. That can lower your caution right before the attacker asks for credentials, payment details, a file download, or permission to continue. Some attacks use several steps to make the experience feel more believable. First, you open a message. Then you scan a QR code or click a link. Then you complete a CAPTCHA challenge. Then you reach a fake sign-in page that copies a trusted brand. Each step seems small, and each step makes the next one feel more normal. This is why defenders teach people to evaluate the destination and the request, not just the appearance of security. A page can look polished, include a challenge, and still be built for theft. Macros are another long-running attachment risk. A macro is a small set of instructions inside a document that can automate tasks. In legitimate use, macros can help with repetitive work, calculations, formatting, or business processes. The danger is that macros can also be used to run harmful actions if they are allowed to execute. Attackers may send a document that looks like an invoice, report, form, or business record and then pressure the recipient to enable content or enable editing. Once the macro runs, it may download malware, change settings, steal information, or help the attacker gain a foothold. The social engineering is usually as important as the technical piece. The document may claim that content is protected, blurred, encrypted, or unavailable until macros are enabled. The attacker wants the user to override a safety barrier. Macro attacks show how attackers turn normal business habits into execution paths. Many people are used to opening office documents, and some workplaces have historically relied on macros for real business tasks. That history gives attackers a believable story. A malicious document may say that the file was created in a different version, that the preview is disabled, or that the user must enable content to view the full message. Those instructions are not just text. They are part of the attack. The attacker is coaching the victim to weaken the protection that would otherwise block the malicious behavior. Modern security controls have reduced many macro risks, but the concept still matters. Anytime a document asks you to enable active content, run something, approve a prompt, or change a security setting just to view routine information, you should slow down and question the request. PDF files are widely trusted because they are so common. People use them for contracts, manuals, forms, statements, invoices, tickets, policies, and official notices. That popularity makes them attractive to attackers. A malicious PDF may contain links to fake sign-in pages, embedded content, scripts, deceptive buttons, or exploit code that targets a vulnerable reader application. Many PDF attacks do not need the file itself to install malware. The file may simply be a convincing wrapper that directs the victim to a malicious website. For example, it might show a fake document preview with a button that says the full document requires sign-in. The user clicks, reaches a fake portal, and enters credentials. In that case, the PDF is not dangerous because it is magical or unusual. It is dangerous because it carries a convincing path to the attacker's real objective. PDF attacks can also exploit the way people treat documents as official. A message with a PDF attachment may feel more legitimate than plain text because it looks like a formal statement, contract, scan, or notice. Attackers may add logos, footers, reference numbers, signatures, stamps, or legal-sounding language to increase trust. The document may claim to be a secure message, tax form, human resources notice, purchase order, or legal request. If the theme matches your work, it becomes more convincing. This is why you cannot judge safety only by file type. A PDF from an unknown or unexpected source deserves caution, especially when it asks you to click a link, sign in, download another file, or enable unusual features. The right question is not whether people normally use PDF files. They do. The right question is whether this specific document and request make sense. RTF documents are another file type attackers have used because they can be opened by common word processing software and may support features that become risky when handled by vulnerable applications. Rich text format was designed to support formatted text across different systems, but attackers can craft documents that exploit weaknesses or trigger unsafe behavior in the software that opens them. To a user, the file may look like a normal document. The danger may be hidden in the way the file is structured, the objects it contains, or the behavior it triggers when opened. You do not need to understand the internal file format to understand the risk. The important point is that familiar document types can carry hidden instructions, links, objects, or exploit attempts. A file extension that looks routine does not guarantee that the content is safe. Attackers often combine file types, images, and social engineering to make the path more convincing. A message may include a PDF that contains a QR code. The QR code may lead to a page with a CAPTCHA challenge. That page may lead to a fake cloud login. After credentials are entered, the attacker may try to access email or collaboration tools. Another attack may start with a compressed attachment that contains a document. The document may ask the user to enable macros. The macro may download malware. These chains matter because security decisions are rarely one single moment. The attacker guides the victim through a sequence where each step feels reasonable. If you only look for one obvious red flag, you may miss the pattern. Stronger awareness means noticing when several small oddities point in the same unsafe direction. There are practical signs that an image or attachment deserves caution. The message may be unexpected, unusually urgent, or unrelated to your normal role. The sender may be slightly wrong, newly introduced, or using a personal account for business. The file name may pressure you with words like overdue, final, urgent, secure, confidential, or action required. The document may ask you to enable content, scan a code, sign in again, install something, or move to another channel. The link destination may not match the claimed sender or service. The document may contain very little real content and mostly serve as a gateway to another step. None of these signs proves an attack by itself, but each one should slow you down. Security judgment often comes from pattern recognition. You are not trying to be suspicious of every document. You are trying to notice when the request does not fit. Defenses against image and attachment attacks work best in layers. Email and collaboration tools may scan attachments, rewrite or inspect links, block known malicious files, and warn about external senders. Endpoint protection may detect suspicious behavior if a file tries to run code or download malware. Application controls may limit whether macros can run. Browser protections may warn about dangerous sites. Identity controls such as multi-factor authentication, MFA, can reduce the damage from stolen passwords, though some attacks also try to trick users into approving MFA prompts. User reporting is also important because one suspicious attachment may be part of a larger campaign. When someone reports it quickly, security teams can search for similar messages, remove them, block destinations, and warn others. The goal is not one perfect defense. The goal is several chances to stop the chain. As you continue with Security Plus version 8 and SY0801, remember that attackers use image and attachment attacks because they blend into normal work. QR codes, CAPTCHA challenges, macros, PDF files, and RTF documents are not automatically malicious. The risk comes from how attackers use them to hide links, create trust, bypass inspection, trigger unsafe actions, or guide you toward credential theft and malware. A familiar format should not make you careless. A polished document should not replace verification. A security-looking challenge should not make a site trustworthy by itself. The safest mindset is calm and practical. Ask whether the file was expected, whether the sender and request make sense, whether the document is pushing you to weaken protections, and whether the next step exposes credentials, access, money, or data.
Thanks for listening. For more audio courses, daily newsletters, and more, please visit BareMetalCyber.com.